Anything that you can do to put history in context for people and have them relate and connect with that history is always going to be beneficial.
The story of Split Rock Lighthouse.
Actually, this exhibit came together quite quickly as far as exhibits go. Usually new exhibits will take 2, maybe 3 years to get everything good to go. We actually tore out the old exhibit hall last November, so all of this has come in since last November. Behind me is our replica third order Fresnel lens. It's an exact replica of the one that is originally up in the lighthouse. So this is the centerpiece of our new exhibit hall at Split Rock Lighthouse Historic Site. It is made up of 252 individual acrylic prisms, and that's probably the major difference between the replica and the original lens. Our original lens is made up of all glass prisms. The reason why we went with the acrylic is, number one, it is cheaper to do that, and it also makes it a lot lighter. The prisms still function the same as the glass prisms that are in the lighthouse. It's just a lighter, more durable material. It will be turning and rotating while the exhibit is open, so people will be able to see that as well. We get, people that are scared of going up the spiral staircase, and that's understandable. And even people who physically can't make it up the stairs will still get the opportunity to see what the lens looks like. And I think that's going to be a really big point with the exhibit, is making that more accessible to people. Other than the replica lens, we have the Madeira ship wheel. We were lucky enough to have that transferred to MNHS in 2001. Was previously on the SS Meteor on display, and they started the transfer process to give it to MNHS, and we brought it back up closer to where the shipwreck is. It was recovered in 1961 by a dive team, and we are lucky enough to have it back in our collection here to better represent the site's history. Another item that is interesting in our exhibit, we have the keeper's hat from our first head keeper, Orrin Pete Young, on display. We also have a Coast Guard cap and duffel bag that was given to us by Mike Roberts, who was a Coast Guardsman that was stationed up here. He was actually one of the last Coast Guardmen to be on the site. He actually helped shut it down in 1969. We also have a keeper's uniform jacket as well.
From 1 o'clock until 5, I do that watch every afternoon.
We have areas that play oral histories of our site from actual people who lived here. For example, there's one given by Grace Young that talks about the inspector showing up for the station and having to get her dad ready for the inspector to come.
I saw something in the sunset. I would have to go up to the tower, tell my father there's something out in the sunset that's coming. That's the boat. That's the inspector.
Since they had to be in full dress uniform for that.
Then they had to be dressed in uniform.
Especially with the oral histories, that is going to make it so much more relatable to people and help them put themselves into the people's shoes that lived at the site and really think about what it was like to live and work here. We also have a section that talks about the Anishinaabe Ojibwe relationship with Lake Superior, which is an important part of the story here.
When they said my name, Gichigami Gaboikwe, that's the woman who stands by the water, it made a lot of sense to me that that would be my name.
We have our community night on May 26th. We'll open it that evening, and then after that it'll be open every day starting May 27th.
There's a lot of power in that lake, and so there's a lot of connection to that power.
What will make you and your colleagues feel like this was a success?
I would say hearing people say things like, wow, I had no clue that that existed here, or oh, I never thought about the light station that way, or oh, I never thought about people who lived on the property prior to even the lighthouse being here. I think would be the best things that we could hear from visitors experiencing the new space.